You're finishing a project late on a Friday, relishing the absolute autonomy of your own space. Then your phone lights up with a text from someone you've been dating. They're asking about your day and offering to bring you coffee tomorrow morning. In response, you feel a sudden, physical jolt, and you slam the laptop shut to make the feeling go away. We're taught to celebrate this level of self-sufficiency. The modern ideal is the lone wolf, someone who needs no one to pay their bills, soothe their anxieties, or dictate their schedule. You've mastered the art of being your own hero in a perfectly curated universe. But the offer of coffee doesn't feel like a gesture of care. As you read the message, your chest tightens, your heart rate spikes, and a cold sweat breaks out on your neck. To your nervous system, a building intimacy feels like an aggressive invasion of a deeply protected sanctuary. You tell yourself you just value your freedom too much to be tied down. But the urge to pull back is an instinct for survival. Before you can logically process the text, your brain has already hit a silent alarm, treating a simple act of kindness as a threat to your existence. You pride yourself on the fact that you can handle a medical emergency or a financial crisis completely on your own. You've built an impenetrable psychological fortress. But while you're busy maintaining the armor, you're also aggressively holding the door shut against anyone trying to get close. You justify the isolation by looking for microscopic flaws in the other person. You convince yourself they're becoming clingy or trying to cross your boundaries. It's easier to label a relationship as an exhausting distraction than to admit how much the knocking at the door terrifies you. The self-sufficiency you built to prevent yourself from being hurt has evolved into a solitary confinement cell. You are safe, but you are also permanently trapped inside your own defenses. This extreme independence is a specialized survival mechanism. It was programmed by an environment that taught you a specific lesson. Relying on other human beings is dangerous. This blueprint is usually written in the past. Perhaps you grew up with parents who were emotionally unavailable or unpredictable, leaving you to realize that the adults in your life couldn't handle your needs. Or maybe a past partner used your vulnerability as a weapon before abandoning you. In those moments, your brain calculated a way to survive. It decided placing your well-being in another's hands is a liability. Vulnerability became an invitation for destruction. So you equated autonomy with perfect safety. This shield protected you from heartbreak, but the shield you needed then is preventing the life you want now. The same tool that guaranteed your survival in the past is the primary obstacle to your connection in the present. This is the independence paradox. You have a fundamental human craving for connection, but your nervous system registers that connection as a lethal threat. You want to be held, but you physically recoil when someone reaches out. When someone tries to move past the superficial or asks you to rely on them, they trigger those buried memories. To your brain, their love doesn't feel like a warm blanket. It feels like a cage lowering down over your life. To regain control, you deploy sabotage. You develop the ick over trivialities, start unnecessary arguments for distance, or use work as a shield. When the pressure of being known becomes too much, you silence your phone and retreat into the digital ether. You ghost them to preserve your autonomy, choosing the predictable safety of your work over the risk of being seen. This cycle protects you from the pain of being abandoned by someone else, but it forces you to abandon yourself to a life of total isolation. Absolute freedom comes with a cost. When the laptop is closed and the work is done, the silence in your apartment changes. You have successfully avoided the risk of being hurt, but you've also removed the possibility of being understood. You have no one to share your victories with, and no one to mirror your humanity back to you. When the anxiety creeps in at 3 a.m, the walls of your fortress offer no comfort. The autonomy you are clinging to isn't actually freedom. It is a rigid, psychological prison dictated by the people who hurt you in the past. You are still letting your trauma make your decisions. You've just given that trauma a new name. Real autonomy is the resilience to let someone in, knowing that even if they eventually leave, you will still fundamentally survive. It takes more courage to lower the drawbridge than it does to keep it locked. Breaking the cycle requires a literal rewiring of your nervous system. You have to teach your brain that care is not a threat. This doesn't happen through big, dramatic gestures, but through small, uncomfortable acts of interdependence. The next time someone offers a small favor or asks to bring your coffee, fight the instinct to isolate. Say yes. Let them see your apartment when it isn't perfect. Allow yourself to be mildly inconvenienced by another person's presence. You have to prove to your body that you can accept support without losing your sense of self. Interdependence is the highest form of human strength. You have already proven you can survive alone. Now prove you are strong enough to be held. Put down the exhausting armor and step out of the fortress. If you're ready to stop running, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment below about the last relationship you sabotaged just to feel safe again. It's time to reclaim your heart.